Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elaina. Привет! I'm your Russian American makeup and beauty addict. I usually do reviews and tutorials on Mondays and Wednesdays, and on Fridays I do fabulous drag looks because Fridays are a drag. In today's video, we're reviewing the very unusual palettes from Target. I picked this up. These are $9.99 each, and they're from a brand called Color Story, and they look like this inside. So we're gonna be doing this look with pretty much all of this. I mean, the majority of this colors from both palettes. It's very rainbow, it's very on brand. I wanted to try as many shades as possible, and we came up with this. Oh, my hair shown. Anyway, so if you guys are interested to see how they work, the swatches, the tutorial, then keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe and ring notification bell so YouTube notifies you of all the new videos I upload. I upload 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also go live some Mondays. So follow me on social media, the links are down in the description box, as well as my Patreon group. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into this review. So these are palettes from Target, as I said in the intro. I picked this up, to be honest, over a year ago, if not 2 years ago. I mean, that was a long time ago. I picked this one up, I think, first, and then this one a little later. And I was thinking, I'm gonna make a review about Target makeup. And then other things kind of came up, and of course, it never got reviewed. And then I picked up another one, and the both was in my drawer. And now I'm like, I need to do this. And to be honest, they just kind of look bad. And I didn't want to review them because I thought it was going to be as a SHIT show. But look at this. Look at that. I'm going to give you swatches first, and then we're going to discuss. So this is 16 shade palettes. The shimmer heavy, like I said later in the video. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shimmers out of 16, which is very heavy. I would rather have deeper shades and mattes, but I find it a lot in common, like in cheaper makeup for some reason. Cheaper palettes have a lot of shimmers because maybe it's cheaper to formulate or easier, whatever. But you'll see, it's not bad. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one actually has more mattes, and that's the one I picked up first. Bright Blossoms and Tropical Glow. I guess glow means a lot of shimmer, so I can't complain. So let's start with this one. I'm gonna swatch it real quick on the fast forward, and then we're gonna discuss. So this is the first palette that I purchased, and the one that has more mattes. It says Pressed Pigment, Bright Blossoms. So that's supposed to be all pressed pigments. Most of them swatched beautifully. I would not complain. I love the way the brights swatched all the mattes, like the green, the yellow, the orange. The shimmer swatched beautifully, except for this one. Something happened to the shimmer. This is supposed to be a deep shimmer, but it's hard as a rock. It's literally like impossible to get it out. But the rest of it is fine. I don't know what happened to that one. This one is like unnecessary kind of brownish shimmer. I don't know why it's there. And yeah, and a mandatory brown neutral. But the rest of it is beautiful. The purple, I mean, I'm using it today. The purple matte is great. So it actually swatches better. Oh, look at the yellow. That's unprimed arm. The yellow and the green. I'm very impressed. Like, some of it is completely mind-blowingly beautiful. And a couple of things are just like, boop. This is the best shimmer, like, hands down. The most reflective, and the rest of them are just meh. So let me get to the other one and clean this up first. So Tropical Glow here, and this one actually, look, It did not stain. So for being a pressed pigment palette, it does not stain. I don't know if it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Is this a real pressed pigment? I'm used to being stained, but I guess it's not a bad thing. Alright, yellow. Okay, so this is the second palette. I didn't have much trouble swatching anything except for the pale orange, and it's matte for some reason. That one would not go on, and it's very dry. But I bet you on the base it would work. But yeah, it just doesn't want to swatch. The yellow shimmer is like one of my favorites. The green shimmer is pretty. The green, the yellow matte's amazing. This one is okay. The rest of the shimmers, even the pink one is nice, although kind of sad that it wasn't good, but actually swatches nicely. This is kind of pretty bronzy shimmer and mandatory brown matte that looks like poop. But this is like the shimmer I'm using here. I'm using it as a matte because it's actually not reflective at all, but it is a shimmer. It's almost black, it's like a dark deep purple, but it's so satin actual work. So it's not bad. I mean, there are some things that's not great, but it's a pretty good palette. The blue swatched nicely. It's a matte. So yeah, it's for $9.99. It's a real nice palette and blends real well. Actually, I had no issues. Yeah. So let's get into the application and tutorial, and you'll see how it applies, how it works. Just one more note I forgot to mention at the end of the video. I have a lot of questions. Sometimes people ask me what lipstick I'm wearing, and I don't show my base on because otherwise video would have been way too long. And this is Kimchi Chic Beauty Marshmallow Butter Lipstick, and this is in the color MBL12 Lover. Oh, it's called Lover. I'm so stupid. Marshmallow butter lipstick means MBL. You can't fix the blonde, stupid. Even though I'm wearing pink wig, the blonde still comes through. Anyway, called Lover. I love this. And I put a little white lipstick on top, like just an old cheap lipstick just to lighten up the middle. So that's what's on my lips. So let's get right into this tutorial and you'll see how it went. So this is a very interesting development because I literally did not expect this palette to be that good, and they are actually pretty good. I mean, they look so cheap. They look cheap in the store and they still look cheap now. And I expected them to be powder as hell and not work at all. And surprisingly, I mean, they just work. I'm shocked. Okay, so excuse me for doing another similar rainbow look as I did the other day, but I just couldn't help it because both palettes are very rainbow-like, and I wanted to use a lot of colors from both. So I'm gonna start with this one, and this is called Tropical Glow. So I'm gonna start with pink, just in a rainbow formation as usual. I'm also going to use pastels from Profusion. I rarely use other palettes, but these two are great. But if I want to blend out something into lighter tone, like closer to my brow bone, it's just easier to use pastels. Or you can use Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay pastels is good too. Since this is a used brand, I wanted to use my favorite Profusion because Profusion is like everything. I love it. It's cheap and cheerful and it works. So I'm just gonna use Spectrum 828 brush. I actually managed not to use a lot of brushes. I just wipe it on the color switch. So I'm gonna go to Orchid. I got ABH base on. Look. The pigmentation, actually, you know what? It looks better on my eyelid than it looks in the palette for some reason. Like when you look in the palette, maybe I think because the background is dark, so you can't really appreciate the brightness. So it looks better on the light base. So I'm gonna go right to Profusion Daydream. and bashful and kind of like blend out immediately, so we don't have to think about this later. This blend out easy and perfect. Then I'm going to go to Budding and Iris, and this is from the other palette, Bright Blossoms. So Budding and Iris. And don't look my nails. I just scratched off all my press-on nails because I was so sick and tired of them. I love them. It's like a love and hate relationship. They start to pop off one after another. Like one pops, then the other one pops. And then I glue them back. It gets annoying. And then I live my fabulous life with the ratchet nails for a while, and then I put them back on. It's like a vicious circle. One after another. Yeah, blend well. Very, very pigmented. I mean, that purple is dark AF. And I think the other eye was like, the purple was a little farther out. I need to make sure they match. Clean this same brush on a towel on my lap, and I'm gonna use Harmony to blend out the purple. There's a little bit of specks of glitter, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Profusion blends so well. You never know how eyeshadow's gonna blend together, because you know some brands don't like each other, but this one works. Then I'm going to the Only Matte Laguna. So that's the Only Matte Blue in both palettes. So I wish this matte, I wish the shimmer, this dark blue one, was a matte, but it's a shimmer. I notice it a lot about budget makeup, like you find in kind of cheap stores online. A lot of the deep tones are shimmers because, I don't know, maybe it's easier to formulate. I don't know what's the reasoning, but I would have loved if that was a not shimmer but matte, but you know, can't complain. And using Profusion Light Blue to blend. I think I'm about right. Then I'm gonna have green. The greens are really pretty. Actually, I'm very happy with greens in both of these palettes. I think I switched to a different brush at this point. Spectrum A07, kind of same thing. It's like a fluffy but flat-ish. I like those kind of brushes when I do the cut grease because it's a small area. It gives you a blending and precision at the same time. So we got Wild here, and we got Guava here, this green. So I'm just gonna kind of go in between. I'm gonna start with Wild because Wild is closer to blue because it's cooler to green. So cooler tone green. And then I'm gonna go into Guava immediately. And Guava is warmer. It's so pretty. I love Guava. It's a very pretty green. Back to the other green. And wipe it off again. And we're gonna go for the yellows. I'm gonna mix the yellows together. Getaway and Buttercup. I thought it was Buttercrisp for some reason. I don't know why. But it's two yellows. They're kind of very similar. The Buttercup, I think, is cooler green, yellow, and Getaway is warmer yellow. So here is Buttercup. Actually, it's very warm. And here's the Getaway on top of it. Yeah, they kind of read very similar. I haven't swatched it yet. Most likely I'm gonna show you the swatches in the beginning of this video, which I usually film at the end. So I'm gonna see how it actually swatches, because I have no idea what the yellows look like in swatches. Nah, it looks nice. So we're going to clean the cut grease, because for once I just want this to be very clean and not to have any color under. So I'm gonna put my shimmers, because the low lash line, the low part of the cut grease, my lid is all shimmers. I don't usually do like all of it shimmers, but you know, there is no rules in makeup. You can do whatever the heck you want. and trying to match as usual. I just use Q-tip and micellar water to clean. And then I'm gonna go with base again. I'm actually using Nyx white base, and the reason being I want it to be really sticky and shimmers to really stand out. So why not use something really greasy? This is the base that I was complaining that it doesn't work as a gel liner because I got this on Amazon in the disguise of gel liner, the one that tricks the metallics, and it turns out that the gel liner is discontinued. So this was somebody was trying to pass this as a gel liner on Amazon, and of course me being gullible, I bought it. I used it and I'm like, this gel liner doesn't set. It never set. It's a greasy mess. It's disgusting. What is Trix Mattel on? What is she on? How does she like this shade? Yeah. Well, somebody actually put in the comments that I'm using eyeshadow primer. I'm like, no way. If I did a little bit of research, I would have known. The lid doesn't even look like it. So we're gonna go for the rainbow formation again, because that's how I like it. I just need to find the brush I was using, because I think I use the same brush for everything, so I need to clean it. There you go, I clean the brush. There's a little stain on it, but whatever. So yeah, that's another shimmery rainbow. So sun ray, sunny dip. I'm gonna skip this pink because this hibiscus is not as good as petals. Petals is more reflective. I already fingered it, that's why I know. Petals is gonna be, what is this? Did I spit on it? There's some water. So petals, and then I'm gonna go to blossom, and what else did I use? I think I used a little bit of dewy, a little bit of heyday. I mean, I went to the full rainbow except for the greens. Yeah, so we're just gonna proceed, and you'll see yellow is pretty awesome, and it's already greasing, of course. Look at that. Oh, the yellow shimmer is so pretty. Oh my god, you know that it makes you so happy. This yellow, it's like a very happy color. A little bit of orange, although we don't like orange in this channel. I've been an orange hater, but I think I'm kind of like calming my tits now with orange. Oh, the pink is so nice. It's probably one of the best shimmers in both palettes. But the texture of the shimmers in both palettes is not the most reflective. I find them more like smoothing, maybe better for like Asian eyelids. So if you have Asian skin, it's gonna look flattering, but they're not like super glittery and like metallic. So if you want some metallic, that's not it. But I think the best ones are yellow and pink, like those yellow and pink, and maybe a little bit of darker green or lighter green. Most of them kind of like, alright. Okay, so wipe this off and get into the purples and blossom. Yeah, blossom is really hard pressed. Like hard to get anything out of it. Looks almost matte. Yeah, that's where the cheapness comes through. You know, you can see that the palette is kind of cheaper on the cheap side, and you can tell by purples. Then I'm gonna go to blues. Dewy. The light blue is pretty dewy and fresh. What am I saying? Dewy, look at the fresh. Oof. That blue is beautiful, beautiful. So here is my dilemma. We don't have any dark mattes here, just none. It's non-existent. So instead of dark matte, we're gonna use dark shimmer. Cause why not? I can live my parakeet life and use dark shimmer. I'm gonna use the oldest brush I have. Look at the cracks. So this is e.l.f. brush. I have like, I don't know, over 10 years at least. And it's still alive. Actually, that says something. It's an e.l.f. brush. It's literally like $1, I think. And it's still alive. There's nothing wrong with it. Go figure. So I'm gonna use the darkest shimmer. It's called Sail Away. And this is where it comes as an advantage, because the shimmers are not the most reflective. So it kind of looks matte-ish. It's not matte, but you know, it's not gonna be blinding you. So I can kind of use it as a dark substitute for black. See? That's not bad. Not bad at all. And I'm going to drag it up. Kind of like on a diagonal. It looks pretty. It looks so deep that literally there's almost no reflection in it, which is great in this case. I'm gonna go to Wave Maker and just like darker blue shimmer to blend this all together. It's funny because years ago I used to use shimmers as mattes. When I didn't know how to do makeup, I would just use like cheap makeup from dollar store, from Walmart or whatever. And I used all shimmers and I thought that was it. That's how it's supposed to do makeup. And now I'm like, God forbid there is no dark mattes. I'm like, I'll never use that. But you know, the reality is makeup is makeup. You can use whatever color in whatever formation, whatever place you want to use. Who cares? It's just makeup. So I'm a little more relaxed about it. Just a little blendy with purple and blue. And now I'm gonna go into the greens, and I decided to go with shimmers and a low lash line because why not? I'm just gonna go for it. There are two green shimmers here, so I'm going to go with Clover, which is dark, and because they're not that reflective, it kind of works in the low lash line. And this is Exotic. This one is actually pretty, like it's more reflective than others. Using I think it's just a brush, unknown origin. The number on it is not showing anymore. Because after my husband uses brushes, they'll lose their longevity. I can't complain because he actually washes my brushes. But along the way, he likes to destroy them. So, oh well. I think like he uses hot water and the handles get damaged, but at least I get help, so I'm just gonna shut up and say thank you. Colourpop White. I usually don't show this step, but you know, why not? If you wanna see inside my eyeballs and how I'm doing a very unsafe procedure, might as well. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of smoky looks, like with a really deep waterline, and I wanna go back to white. Because it's like, it's very drag and, you know, opens up your eye and gives it a doll-like look. You know, why not? There is no white, so I'm going to use my trustworthy Sugar Pill Taco. And I use the Spectrum brush. And this is a 13. It's very firm. It's good to press the eyeshadow. Yeah, I'm feeling my ults already. I always love white. So here's the deal. I want to make the white really stand out and make it like a more drag-like look. And this big white line, I love making this. And actually I've been asked in my other videos and Instagram posts what I was using for it. Nyx Epic White. It's very messy in a way that it never goes on very thin because the brush applicator is not the smallest. And also, I try to use small brush with it. Not the brush that comes with it, but it's such a thick gooey texture. It's a very unique formula. It's like paint, almost like a industrial strength paint. So it goes on thick no matter what. So I end up doing a two-step procedure. Use this and then water activated white liner to clean up around, because otherwise it's still gonna be a little messy, especially if you have wrinkly older eyelids. There's no way it's gonna be smooth. So I'm just gonna try to do my best and then clean it later. Okay, so as you can see, the process is a little tedious and it's still not perfect. So I'm using a tiny brush and I'm using Midas Cosmetics palette. I mean, this has nothing to do with the review of this Target palettes, but it's just showing you how to do it. So Midas Cosmetics, water activated, one of the best formulas ever. And using white, I'm gonna just clean up around the lines, and it's gonna make it as close to perfect as possible. So this is what I've come up with so far. I mean, it's not like perfectly blended because I still have to do my foundation, so I'll have to decide what I'm gonna do with this tails. But overall, I'm very impressed with how inexpensive the eyeshadows are and how much deeper and more pigmented this looks than it looks in the palette. So I'm actually very surprised. I thought it was gonna be one of those reviews that are gonna poop all over this palette and say it's complete crap. But wow, really impressive actually. So let me finish my face makeup. I'll use all the budget stuff that I have to go with in US themed inexpensive makeup. I'm gonna use my Profusion foundation and I'll be right back. So this is the final look. I paused for you a little bit. This came out as a dreamy bubblegum kind of look, pink dream, and I'm gonna show you the wig a little closer. That's a Shein wig, of course. That's my new one. I like it. Yeah, I decided to bling it out. This is like a little stickers I got from Shein as well. They're like a little iridescent stickers. They're not in gems, but they look very reflective. Decided to add a little bit to go with my earrings. So it looks like iridescent rainbow bubblegum dream. So this is the final look. What do you guys think? This is definitely on brand for me. The rainbow, the glitter, I mean the sparkly things. Sparkly things I like to glue to my eyeballs. I mean the usual. The eyelashes from Amazon, I think. And the palettes are amazing, $9.99 in Target. The only thing is, if you're watching this from UK, it's kind of useless for you all because these are only available in US in Target. And I looked up online, it looks like it's like exclusively in Target if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't see it anywhere else. So Color Story brand, and this is Tropical Glow, and this is Bright Blossoms. They're both amazing. If I had enough hair on my head, I would color my hair this way, but the problem is with my hair being so thin, it's just not gonna look flattering. And I think being from Shein, it's a little uneven. I think this side is longer than this, but we could fix it. I have scissors and I have education in hairdressing. I'll fix it later. Yeah, I think this one is longer. Oh well. So let me know what you think. Have you seen this in Target? Have you purchased any of this? This was a very spontaneous purchase like over a year ago, to be honest, and I'm very impressed. My first try. So like this video if you enjoyed it. As usual, give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I upload 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I go live on some Mondays. So follow me on social media. The links are down in the description box, as well as my Patreon group. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support. I love you all and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!